What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the one-on-one series presented by Fandoms Anonymous. Man, we have a very interesting video today. There's a story about how this happened, and it's kind of funny. But I am here with Mr. Alex Wright. What's going on, man?
Going pretty good. Really, my real name is Alessandro Wright. Yeah.
You gotta say you gotta pronounce it right, because anybody else would just probably come and say Alessandro. You like, nope.
Oh no, yeah, you gotta roll that R.
That's not what my mama named me. It's not what my mama named me. But man,
no, I'm very happy to be here.
Most definitely, I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and tell this story. So I'm scrolling through TikTok, my new favorite thing to do. I should be going to bed earlier at night, but I spend maybe about 45 minutes scrolling through TikTok, because you see some funny stuff, you see some interesting stuff, you see some touching stuff, and you see some just downright crazy stuff, especially those videos where the guys are like, we're going to go down in this abandoned house and we're going to see what's in there, like for part 2. I really like those videos because I really want to see what's in those abandoned houses. I want to see what's going on. But scrolling through TikTok, I see this video. This young lady is saying, my husband, he's an artist. He draws some amazing stuff, and I don't think he gets the recognition he deserves. So I decided to go and take one of his art pieces and put it on the blanket, and I'm gonna surprise him with it. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is golden. This is golden. Like, this is a story here. And said blanket that we're talking about, guys, is back there behind us. So
it's
look at that beautiful drawing. Like, that needs recognition. That is freaking beautiful. So I'm like, well, this is an opportunity to do what I do. So I get in the comments. I'm like, hey, I want to interview your husband about his art. Didn't get a response. So I said, time to turn on savage mode. One of my brothers always tells me, say, man, when you want to get at somebody, you're savage. Like, you will move until you get to that person or whatever it is, whether it's an everyday person or even a celebrity. I will get to you if I can. So I said, I'm gonna figure this out. So I go to Instagram, I pull up the page, and I'm like, there's a phone number. I was like, should I call this number? I'm gonna call this number. Call the number. Lady answers the phone. She said, this is the hair salon. And I'm like, okay, hey, my name is Malcolm. I'm from Fandoms Anonymous. I'm just telling my whole spiel. And the lady's like, well, that's one of the employees that works here. I'm the manager. But I really think she'd like that. I really think she'd like that. But she's kind of blowing drying somebody's hair right now. So I don't think she doesn't want to stop that. You don't want anybody's hair to be wet and then get air dried instead of being blow dry. Like, that's that's hair salon no 101. Like, blow dry the hair fully. Don't stop. Don't let it air dry. But eventually, through time and space and all the infinity stones, we are here. I finally got him here, and we are going to talk about your art, man. First of all, I want you to tell us, how did you get started with your art?
With my art, honestly, I've been drawing every opportunity since I was about 2 years old. And my mother had saved that picture, which was simply just 2 dots and a smile, just a face. And I haven't stopped since then. I did take college courses, but not like people think. It was just like a summer class or 2, and that was it. I have no degree in it. I love doing it, and I can do it for hours on end. And I have so many influences that get me into it.
Oh yeah.
So it's a wonderful time killer as well.
Most definitely. And I feel the same way with here, what we do at Fandoms Anonymous. This is what gives me time to relax and unwind and just go into another world for about an hour or 2 hours or however long I'm recording and editing and getting stuff together. But getting into the realization of what you do, I guess I want to ask, what is it that you aim to reach with your art?
The same feeling that you would get if one of your best friends, you just made them laugh, like belly laugh,
right.
Spit up their milk kind of laugh. And those kind of little moments that happen with truly best friends, is what I want to try and convey in my art through what's called sequential art or comics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I definitely have too many stories that keep on happening every day and adding to the list of what I want to draw. Right. You know, and tell these stories. So that's really what I want to do.
What's the story behind the piece that we're looking at now? Because the first thing I think of is Norse mythology, of course, Thor and Odin and all the people in Asgard and that land. What's the story behind that piece?
So, I mean, I do have all those influences. My father got me into basically any and all mythology. So a lot of these, like, imagine seeing this on a 1970s van, airbrush.
Right. Oh, man, beautiful.
Typical.
Beautiful.
But really what this was me kind of dipping my toes into digital art. This was like the first true good digital art piece that I did outside of any kind of sketches.
Right.
And this was in the very midst of kind of coming back from the quarantine and that true crest of how bad things were for everybody during all the protests. Right. You know, during all the Black Lives Matters, just the struggle that they were going through, just like right there at the tippy top. Right. And I just couldn't, you know, I've got 3 kids and I take care of them, and I needed to be there for them, and I couldn't really get past, you know, being really empathetic for this and just having it take me down around my kids. So I made myself in my mind a sledgehammer of healing, so I can basically John Henry my way through all these problems and feelings that I have. Right. My number one American hero is John Henry. Awesome. Has been since I was like 5.
That's awesome. Just hope it's not the Terry Crews Netflix movie that came out.
I still haven't seen it. I really want to see it.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, I love Terry Crews, and his story is amazing. If anybody has a chance to really listen to his like true upbringing, what he's had to go through. Right. So I just think like John Henry would be perfect.
Think Avatar: Last Airbender by M. Night
Shyamalan.
Oh no! Yeah.
Dang.
Go in that world. So when looking, and I guess I've never understood digital art, because of course I know somebody can pick up a pad and a pen and any type of calligraphy item and draw. Is it the same, or is it harder when you're drawing digitally? Like you have a plain white screen and you have a stylus, of course. What's the biggest difference in the two?
For me personally, and I've read into this a lot, and I'm part of a lot of groups that go over these things, the dichotomy between traditional art, which is, pen and paper, ink and paper, what have you, to digital performance as well. I love both of them. You know, you wave in and out of it, but traditional artwork, it's permanent. It happened. You know, maybe you made that stroke too long? Too bad. Deal with it. Make something new out of it.
Right.
Digital art, if you made that stroke too long, take a step back. Just press the back button. Yeah. And there you go. But honestly, it's a facilitator for all the mundane things an artist has to physically do. You know, I mean, we have a huge library of textures. You know, oh man, I don't really know what a guitar looks like, so I'm gonna download an image, trace that, and boom, there you go. I just learned how to draw guitar when I didn't a minute ago. Right.
Does digital art transcribe back to traditional?
Oh yes.
Like you just said, you were able to pull an image and learn how to draw a guitar. Does that allow you to say, okay, now that I know how to draw a guitar, digitally, I can now draw it traditionally?
Yes, the process would be, just physically slower. That's all.
Right.
And no pride taken away from it either way. This is just my experience with it. I'm loving digital artwork. It feels like a souped up hot rod compared to the tricycle that I was bouncing on before.
Gotcha. Looking at what you've created, and I've seen your Instagram page, man, it's beautiful. Looking at what you created, what is one thing that you aim to do? Do you want to have your own comic book? Do you want to hopefully draw for a big company, or do you even want to say, you know what, I want to start my own company, my own comic book, my own art?
Yes, no, and yes. So I do openly now share when I didn't a few years ago, share what I truly wanted to do.
Right.
And it was only recently that I was like, hey, I'm 32. I don't care what people think. I'm going to tell them my dreams. And if it's weird, whatever, I'm going to still do it.
Right.
So I definitely have a series, a long series of comics and characters, plots and every story arcs, the whole thing, all sketched out. It's just getting the time to really make a product out of it. And hopefully in the future, yes, possibly have my own, small company that a larger company can pay me a lot of money.
Right.
I don't have aspirations of joining a larger successful company that's like 2-3 times my age.
Right.
Okay. I think it's because I know what I'm capable of, and there's endless amounts of learning ahead of me to better my art. But I know that I have too many stories that need to be told.
Gotcha.
And but the best way that I can positively affect the future.
And that's where
outside of my children.
Exactly. That's where you come into realization with yourself, that decision, should I go here or should I stick with what I know, because that's what's working for me. That's what I know I can do. Because if I go work for somebody else, not saying that it wouldn't be great, not saying I wouldn't get notarization or notoriety. Notarization is not a word. Notoriety that I want. It's of that. If I go work for somebody, I have to draw what they want me to draw. And now I'm in this. And anytime I want to draw something, I tries to get out, but I can't. But when you're on your own, it's your free hand, no pun intended. You can draw what you want, how you want, when you want, and to the effect that you want to get your point across and what you want to do across. So
exactly.
That's definitely respect in that light, and I'm like that too. With my videos and my content, I like the content that I make. I like the content that I create. Just now, guys, just being transparent, I hit record and I was getting ready to start the show, and I was getting ready to call this episode the name of another series that I have. So I said, no, we got to start because sometimes they combine all together. I have a new series called the Conversation Series, where we talk about big topics that are going on, whether local community topics in Hollywood. I get a group of people together. I put a post out on Facebook, say, hey, here's the next topic. This is what we're going to talk about. And people are like, hey, I want to be on. And we have an amazing time with it. So I'm as the time goes, I'm developing more. And I know same thing goes for you as well. Time brings about development and change. And, I tell everybody, humble beginnings. Before I had tripods and fancy mics, I had an ironing board that I used to prop my phone in to record my videos. So now I have 61-inch tripods and fancy mics on stands with pop filters. You know what I'm saying? So the 1080p webcam. See, it development.
He went legit.
Yeah, I went legit. But time brings development, and time brings, of course, character, and it brings growth in what you do and what others out there do. What would be your advice to that young artist that's out there, that's 5 years old, 7 years old, whatever age, and they're thinking like, this is what I want to do. I love to draw. What's your advice to them?
Honestly, just to keep doing it as much as they can. There's definitely going to be times you may not draw for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and then all of a sudden you make up for it just figuring stuff out in your life.
Right.
But it is one of the few things that not any person can ever take away from you at all, is that ability to just create something, you know, on 2 dimensions and make people feel 3, 4, 5 dimensions from just looking at it.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. That's real. That's real. Last question I want to ask you, and it's something that we ask every person that comes on the one-on-one series, is what do you think about the word consistency?
Consistency?
Mm-hmm.
It can make or break a lot of relationships with other people, because depending on their trust for you, they'll expect it. And if they don't get it, they're afraid something's wrong.
Right.
Or if they get much of it, they might think there's something wrong, you know?
Right. Exactly.
So it's taking that time with each individual person, and it's worth it, that extra moment to really think about that person in front of you, what's going on behind their eyes, looking at you, to just try and step in their shoes and see what's going to make it consistent for them and you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now what I want you to do, of course, is let everybody know where they can see your art, where they can find you on social media.
Oh my goodness. I have everything linked up to my Facebook. You can definitely find me, Alessandro Wright. My wife is quite popular on TikTok. She's Rachel Wright. And that's really what got me. This was my wonderful wife who surprised me with a blanket of my artwork, you know, and this gentleman here hunted me down across the state line to try and find me.
Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do out here.
So yeah, my Instagram page as well. Maybe you can put a link up for them.
Most definitely, most definitely.
So yeah, that's what I have right now. You know, Malcolm caught me at my sprouting stage, learning all of this, but I'm getting a lot of content created to get everybody, you know, just viewing my stuff, at least letting me know what they think.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad to have you. Thank you for joining us today, man. Guys, you know who we are. We're Fandoms Anonymous. You can follow us all over social media, right here on Facebook and YouTube, where you watch this video. We're on Instagram, and we do the TikTok. You know, I think we do more watching than we do more putting videos out, because I'm one of those. I won't do a good video until I have a good idea on TikTok, and if I don't have a good idea, I won't do it. I won't do a video. So, guys, go follow us all over social media. I thank you for joining us today. I thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in another video.